ultimately stands up.
Yeah, we also had Francie Hakes on earlier. She's also a former federal prosecutor, and she said that, this is a really dark time. She believes that, if this goes through, and she does believe that if Donald Trump it has to, go before a jury here in New York City, she believes, and a judge, she believes that, he will be prosecuted and or that he will be charged and convicted. And so she says this is a dangerous time in America. And I think a lot of Americans are looking at this saying there is no equal justice. Donald Trump has not stopped facing political persecution since he, won the election and in 2016. And I think a lot of people feel the same way, and they wonder, what does this mean for me?
I think what the American people need to understand is kind of the basics of what this is. The allegation is that Trump paid money to someone to keep from something that would be embarrassing or harmful to his reputation from coming out in the public. Now, even if that is true, you have to tie that to the election specifically for it to be any type of violation. That action in and of itself, paying hush money, isn't just illegal by itself. So what they're trying to do is kind of weave this thread of, well, we have some proof that he might have done this. It happened at this time, and now we have this lawyer or Cohen, who's also been proven to be a liar and is convicted of that himself, saying, oh, but I know it was connected to the campaign effort, and that's why it's illegal. And then you have to jump to another hurdle of, well, there's a statute of limitations even on that. So now she says, Francie, that they're going to add a conspiracy charge so that they can restart that clock. It just sounds like a lot of things woven together. In the words of Dan Bongino, here's the person, let's go find the crime.
Here's the cost, by the way, of this singular obsession politically for those on the left with Donald Trump. Life isn't always an either-or game, but there's finite resources. So you're a prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. And you only have so much time. You have only so much energy. And Alvin Bragg has prioritized this, clearly, and he has deprioritized, for example, putting criminals back on the street with bail reform. So let's just play it out for a minute, has a disproportionate impact on minorities and people in lower socioeconomic, high crime areas, okay? So let me ask you the question. How many black lives have you sacrificed under a higher crime city with increased murder rates to devote a limited number of resources to the priority of pursuing a weak case against Donald Trump?
Yeah.
How many black lives was this political stunt worth?
Well, what you learn from the left is that they don't really care about black lives or the working class or the poor. This is a George Soros-funded DA, and he has to pay his master back. And this is exactly what George Soros and so many of those radicals on the left want to have happen to Donald Trump. They want to put an end to him. George Soros, a globalist, no question that Donald Trump and his ideas, which are now being embraced by everybody who claims to be wanting to run for president, those are threats to that globalist agenda. And so they think that this will stop, seeing the pictures that we may get to see this week of Donald Trump, potentially in handcuffs. They think it will stop him. I'm not so sure that it will have that impact.
We'll have Mark Levin coming up on the show in about 1 hour to talk about this. We can talk to him about what he thinks the fallout politically will be.